This is the Minted Podcast, a show for small business owners running a business and a life at the same time. Every day, I get to work with people just like you. You're great at your profession, but dread doing all the operational tasks. It drains your cash and your headspace. If you're at the point where you are done winging it, but outsourcing or hiring still feels a step away, this show is for you. Hi, I'm Lisa Morey, the founder of Mint Agency, and today we're going to answer how do you get to the stage where you can step away from your business. To help us to do that, I'm speaking with Tim Sheather, the founder of Sheather's Painting in Wagga. Tim, you've been in business for a long time. Tell us, when did you start and where are you today?
Thanks for having me this morning. I started my painting business in 2012. A bit of background before that, this is only the third thing I've ever done. I did an apprenticeship before this and I started in a local pizza franchise shop and I built my way up there. I wanted to leave school and built my way up to area manager there. So I had 145 staff under me at 21. And then I decided to change industries and do a painting apprenticeship. Stayed there for a couple of years and then started the business 2012. In that time, long story short, I've had anywhere from 42 staff was our peak. It was just before COVID. We had 42 staff on the books.
Oh, my goodness.
At the moment, we're sitting at about 16, 18 staff. But part of that is I've got 3 managers that I hire. So for me, I suppose the question that you ask is, where we've been and how we got there is surround yourself by the right people would be the biggest thing. In part of the journey, I hired painters as well as managers. And in saying that, I didn't hire painters as managers. I hired, managers and trained them up on that side of things because for me, I needed my best painters out on site. I didn't need them sitting in an office. So I spent time on training people up.
That's very, very smart because often you, especially in a trade, you'd start off with having all your employees on the tools and then they work their way up.
Yeah, they do. Generally, like I said, you need them on site. You need your best tradesmen. You need them out on site, don't you? So
yes.
I've got like one guy at the moment, so we shuffle between the two, so he comes in and out of the office. So that's really good. That works really well. But I could not have 3 managers that are my best painters in the office because I need them out on site making money.
So how do you have 3 managers? How does that work?
To be honest, I've set the business up to give a better service. I could definitely probably get in and do more myself, but if we've got 100 customers, say, for instance, I can't service all those people. So I've set the business up as a little bit different and to give a good service. If there's a drama, we'll always there to fix it. We'll be able to get quotes out straight away. If I was to do that myself, I just would not do it. It's too hard and I just would not give the service that I want to do. So I think that's the biggest key is just having those right people there to give a good service.
And that's probably a tricky thing for a lot of the small business owners like I speak to and that we deal with is trying to find the right people and to essentially replace yourself in some ways. Yeah,
I'm probably pretty lucky like that. The guy that I do have, I handpicked, and I know we'll talk a bit later about any community groups, but I get involved in that kind of stuff and meeting new people and learning from other people, I suppose. I can just have a conversation with someone and I did this and I wanted to pick him up straight away because I knew he would be good at what he does. So it's a matter about just little things that people you can talk to out in the street and you go, actually, that's really good. You'd be great at this kind of business. And that's what I did. I got him. He was a manager in another business and so I offered him a different role. And he took it. I think now he's better at doing it than me, to be honest, which is a great thing. For me, that's awesome. Successful is if he's better at doing it than me, I don't have to do it. But I am very lucky. I do care a lot, which makes a big difference. Getting someone who does care about you and your family to have someone in that role, I am very lucky.
Would you say that you've hired based on personality traits?
I suppose painting-wise, the guys on site, Wagga's a small town, so we know who you want and who you don't, I suppose.
Yeah.
It's hard to teach people to care.
Agree.
But if you got someone who does care, it's easy to teach them the job, I think. Does that make sense?
It does. And I think that's where a lot of business owners may struggle is because they hire thinking they need the skill set, which you depend on the role you do. but you can always teach that skill set.
Yep.
Everyone's
That's
taught
right.
the skill set
Yep.
they have over time.
Yep.
But if someone's not naturally kind
Yep.
or doesn't have customer service,
You can't teach that. I don't
that's
think
hard.
so.
Was there ever a boundary with the trust side of it? Like, this is your baby. And to have up to 42 staff at one stage with COVID, at what point did you learn to trust people?
To be honest, I probably always have. And that hasn't always been replicated back, but I am pretty good at letting that go. I think it's nice to be able to trust people. People want to be trusted. And like I said, that doesn't always happen, but I am fairly good at letting go. If there were dramas on site, I'd always make sure our customers knew that if there was a drama, we'd be there to fix it. And if I'm going to go there personally and do that, I would. So I think customers then can trust me in trusting our staff. If there was a drama, that we would be there to sort it out. So training your customers as well is a little bit thing there with trust, especially got guys on site. I don't see a lot of sites anymore. I run a few jobs and the other guys run the rest of it. In order of stepping back it is a really tough one to do, but it's the only thing you can do. It's like I said, I had good leadership around me, so I was able to trust everyone else around. So I think that just all comes in one package.
Because the trust seems to be a common topic that I find with business owners, and it's almost like an employee just breaks their trust a little bit, or maybe they don't execute the way they would have liked, so they lose all faith when in actual fact sometimes it's not necessarily because their trust is broken. It's maybe because they haven't been trained properly or they haven't, you sort of, it's like the whole, you lead by example. And if you don't have the processes in place and the training done right from the start, it's really the owner's problem, I think. Like it falls back on, like my shoulders, not the employee. So you shouldn't lose trust in the employee.
No, that's right. Yeah.
But sometimes that happens as a natural instinct. It's like, I don't trust you to do that job anymore. When in actual fact, if you stripped it down, it's like, well,
trained properly,
you haven't trained them properly. So how do you train them? Do you have written procedures? Do you have programs?
We're very online based now with a lot of programs and stuff now, so I can monitor a lot of stuff from where I am, which is great. I've got a fairly simple business, I suppose you could say. So it's not, and I've kept it fairly simple. Like I could have added more layers to it, but I never wanted to. I just wanted to keep it simple. We go paint the job, it gets invoiced, and then they pay the money. Quote it. Do the job, invoice, move on. So I could have made it a little bit more complicated than that in different jobs or different structures of setting the business, but I never did. I just kept it really simple. I think that in training the guys in the office, like I said, it is definitely a challenge, and it's still a challenge for me now. So I kind of don't do any quotes and stuff, but I oversee everything still. So that's the way I've kind of set it up. So they run underneath me and I'll fix any dramas or whatnot. And I just check on numbers and make sure people are trained properly, because that is the biggest thing. Like you said, if people are failing in what they're doing, well, you've got to step back and go, was he trained properly? And especially with apprentices coming through these days, we all talk about how hard staff are, and especially young people coming through now.
Yes.
But same thing, are we doing the right thing by them? Are we training them properly? Are we putting time into them? Because I think it has changed from when we were probably growing up as well.
Yes.
We've got to put a little bit more time into people and make sure they know what they're doing, and they're learning and bettering themselves, I think, too, which is very, very important. So
and feel valued. It's just different times now, isn't it? Like back in the day, working for your parents, like many years ago, you went to work, you worked your bum off, you did overtime, didn't expect to be paid for it. It just was a different era back then, where now people are a bit more wanting that balance of life and work, and some probably have went too far the other way, where they expect to go to work and just be on their phones and get paid.
Right. The real battle with that, one of our biggest things is, so I've got kind of me and then my managers underneath, and I've got foremen who run the job sites. And they're a little bit older too. Generally, they've done their trade. They've been on for a few years, so they're a bit old school. They get in and do the job. They've got a job to do. They've got to make money for the company. So they've got KPIs and stuff they've got to meet. Then training them to be patient with the young people these days is a big battle, and changing the way they think about people coming out now is definitely a challenge. So that is really tough, but it's just a matter of me probably jumping in there, and that's when I need to be training them in making sure the guys coming through are trained properly, and we're patient with them because it is different.
I remember even going back, I reckon it was 15 or 20 years ago, there was a whole seminar in town about Gen Y. There was a whole seminar on it because they were coming through the ranks, and I was in an office manager position, like any kind of raising of your voice or any kind of like, you know, you've done this wrong. They were breaking down in tears, and like, is this whole learning curve? And they've grown up in a world where everything's instant. Like, you take a photo on your phone and you've got it and you can print it. Like, we were from the era of on a film, and you went to the shops and put the film in, and then like a week later picked your photos up. Like, their whole world is different.
And us as leaders, I suppose that's a matter of us, like I said, teaching people about. I always say if like, say, my foreman could do what I do, well, they'd be in my position. So it's a matter of me then training them. You're 100% right. You know, mental illness is such a massive thing these days. I don't even know if I'm trained up well enough on that, but I feel for it, and I know there's a lot of it there. So it's a matter of me teaching people around me to go, actually, you know, it's just different. And I don't know what the best outcome is, but we've just got to deal with it. Yeah. Hopefully we can get better on the other side. But there is so many great people out there. That's the thing, you know, young people. There's a lot of young great people out there. That's just a matter of picking them up, looking after them. And generally for us, I think if we can, in the trade, get them through 12, 18 months, so what I say is getting them on the other side. They generally go, all right, I've got a mortgage or I've got kids, so I've got to go to work. So if I can get them through that first initial 18 months, because coming out of school is not easy either, is it? They'd have to get up at 7 o'clock in the morning or 6 o'clock in the morning, go to work, and had to be there, or you get in trouble if you're not, or all that kind of stuff. So a transition to that is really hard. So it's a matter of me training my foreman to go, you know, you remember back in those days when it was when you left school straight into work. It's not easy. And it all comes back down to our conversation. It's training. It's keeping people in the know and surrounding them by the right people.
Isn't it funny, like, having kids ourselves saying, oh, like, can't wait for the weekend, and they're going to school from 9 to 3, and can't wait for school to finish. I can't wait to get a job and leave school. And it's like, you've got no idea. If only you knew.
And we would have done that when we were kids too, though. You know, you're earning money and you go, how good's this? That's what I want to do. I want to have a car and that kind of stuff. And then you get 2 years in and you go, actually, school's pretty good. Yeah. Stay at school.
Isn't it?
Yeah.
Stay at school as long as you can.
Yeah, that's right.
In your business, now that you've been able to step away a bit more and you've got that trust and the foundations right, what do you spend your spare time doing, if you have spare time?
Yeah, I do a lot of community stuff at the moment, but in saying that, I always have. In 2000 actually, just as I started the business, I started in South Wagga Apex.
Okay.
Apex is the young man's volunteer group, so I met a lot of people doing that. I remember the first service scheme we did, there was a young family out on a farm that we set a swing set up for because Dad didn't have any tools and stuff, and their son was riddled with cancer. So I remember we set up this swing, and it would have been 8 of us. It was the first thing I've ever done, and the kid coming out and jumping on the swing, and it was a big smile on his face. If everyone does something little, I think the world's going to be a better place in just helping one person throughout the year, or an hour a week or something. So I've always done a lot of volunteering like that, and I suppose that's because I have been lucky in business to free me up to do stuff like that. So I could play more golf, which I do play a little bit of golf. I'm also heavily involved in the business chamber as well. Still in Apex and footy clubs and stuff like that. So I love to be around the kids and teaching them that sort of stuff. And the reason why I've probably done a lot of this kind of stuff is I think you got to do things maybe a little bit for a selfish reason as well. So the reason why I have is what I like to say is I've surrounded myself by people smarter than me.
Oh, so, like in this room too?
Yeah. Oh, well, yeah, you can say that. I'm not saying who's behind the camera. Yeah, so I've surrounded people that are smarter than me, and I've learnt from them.
Right. And
I tell my kids as well, you surround yourself by nice people. Not so much smarter, because we're all smart, but people that are genuine good people. I think good things will come to you as well. I've been on a lot of boards with a lot of smart people and learnt from them in their businesses and just how they run meetings. I really take a lot out of other people, to be honest. So just having a conversation and people going, I did this 10 years ago in my business, and I go, actually, that's a really good idea. I can do that now. So talking to people is a big thing that I have done, whether they're 20 years old or whether they're 80 years old, learning from other people, learning from other people's mistakes is a big thing I've done to get where I am today.
Yeah, and that's a big self-development in a natural way, isn't it?
It is.
Like listening to others and why reinvent the wheel? Someone else has already been there and done it.
Yep.
And, especially like in business because a lot of people hit rock bottom.
Yeah,
and,
they do, yeah.
You know, how to get out of it.
And there's so many people that have done it.
Yeah.
So how about we all get together? And that's why I love things like business team, because we can all get together and help each other out. We're all in the same situation. We've all got cash flow problems. We've all got staff problems. But we've all got the same common goal is we love business and we love being with people. So I think we should get together and learn from other people is a really big thing. What else have I done? I've done a number of things. I think I was on 6 schools, So,
6 schools?
Oh, no, I was on 6 boards at
once. 6 boards. I thought you were 6 school boards.
And like I said, I did that to better myself. That was the way I think I could learn.
Yeah.
Is to learn from other people. And I wasn't fantastic at school and I didn't like school. Doesn't mean that's not for everyone, but I went out of school and like I said, I learned from even your parents. You know, what they've done, they've been and done it all that we're doing all now.
Yeah,
we need to be
that's
talking to them and learning from them. We know that at our age now, but when we were 16, we didn't want to listen to a thing they said.
No, that's right. That's right. And we're probably seeing it come through now with our own kids.
Yes, we are. That's right. Yeah, they don't listen. They don't think we don't know anything.
Yeah, exactly.
No, haven't been there and done it all. So.
No, never.
But I thought when I get to our age, they do go, oh, actually, I remember Dad saying that back in the day. Maybe I should have listened to that when I was 16.
Do you think your parents owning businesses and multiple businesses over their time, do you think that was an encouragement for you to own your business, or do you think part of it was actually like, oh my God, I could never own my own business, like it's too stressful, or did you not see the stress?
Yeah, no, I suppose you don't see the stress. You don't. When we were younger, you don't see what Mum and Dad dealt with. And stuff and we say it's different now, but they just had different challenges back in the day, didn't they? They had some good stuff.
Oh, great stuff.
But they had different challenges at the end of it. Their rents just went through the roof. So they were at the start of when that was all going on and they just couldn't do it anymore. So I love small business. That's what I love about being the business chamber. I love that we can go and have a chat to people, and I think that for me that's just the biggest outcome of what I've done to get where I am is just learning from other people. But getting back to the business, sorry, off topic a little bit. Yeah, I don't know when I ever worked out the passion for small business, but when I first started, like it was hard. It was really hard. As cash flow and staff and all the different challenges that you have. But we got through it, and I think it takes a good number of years for a business to get established. I think, for me personally, I think it takes a good 8 to 10 years to get to that stage and just and have cash flow sorted and, just to be real set up to do stuff like that. So, but that was the stuff that I learned from other people. So,
was there a time where you, like having been in business for many years now, where you went, I'm done? You just were sick of being on that treadmill of the tough times?
Yeah, there definitely was throughout the times. But to be honest, how I dealt with that, I just hired another manager.
Okay, that's easy.
Yeah, well, it comes back down to surround yourself by the people that care. And so, I could actually then go, oh, this part of the business is really hard. So what do I want to do? I don't want to do that anymore. So I'm going to hire someone to do that. So I didn't want to do HR. So I hired someone to do it. Compliance, we could probably call it. So I got someone that does compliance. I didn't want to quote anymore. I kind of got over that, so I hired someone to do it. But finding the right people is hard. So I think, yes, there was definitely times that it was really hard, but I pivoted a little bit and changed things around, and it worked.
You're clearly very adaptable to change and open-minded to always self-development, like self-learning, whereas some business owners, that's just not for them, and it probably in some ways can work against them when they're not adapting to change and the world around them and the young employees coming through, and even self-development. I think it's important to continually learn, like AI. Like if you're not adapting to AI, like all those business owners out there, you're just going to be left behind.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah. And you're right with the young people coming through. That is a challenge that we all face. And I don't know what the right answer to that is, but like I said, it's trying to adapt and understand where they're coming from as well. Because we were those people once as well. And I'm sure our parents gone, these people coming through are hard. hard work, and they probably thought we were as well. But you just got to understand where they're coming from, I think.
It is, and it just takes a lot of patience, and we don't all have patience either.
No.
To finish up, what would be some pointers you'd give to other people in small business that are looking to give back to the community a little bit more, or to grow their business, or what's your biggest takeaway and advice to others?
So the biggest takeout, I think, would be surround yourself by the right people. And also, like I said before, if everyone does a little bit of volunteer work, I think the world would be a lot better place. That's something that I think is very important. But, I think that's the biggest thing would be, just do a little bit extra, learning from other people, learning from other people's mistakes, like your mum and dad's, and other people. Surround yourself by better people than you, maybe.
And really, in return, it's that whole, you give out all that positive stuff to the universe, and eventually it does actually come back to you. Like, I'm sure, I know just from around town, word of mouth, from Sheather's painting, the referrals, because you do have good customer service, and people will refer you, and then you have got your face around town within the community and sport and everything too. Like, I think it's sort of almost like you're networking, but to you probably see it as giving back.
Yeah, that's right.
And helping others, but it does sort of work.
Yeah, really good way of putting it, actually.
It comes back around. Yeah. But, that doesn't work for everyone.
No,
like,
it
if you go and join a board and you're rubbing everyone up the wrong way, I'm sure they probably don't refer business.
No, that's right, but even something I probably haven't mentioned is having a good base at home, I think. I've got a very understanding wife. I hope she's listening to this.
Yes.
So that makes things a lot easier, And we've done it hard over the years too. There's been many times that I've missed out because I've been doing board commitments, or I've got something on a couple of times a week. So I'm very lucky to have an understanding wife and kids. So that's
brownie
something.
points.
That's right. Yeah. So I'll be sending this podcast to her. So that is very important, though. If you didn't have that support at home, I think, same thing. I wouldn't be where I am today without my wife. All credit to her as well. But like I said, if I'm at a board meeting and she's at home with the kids, it's hard on her too. So but I'd like to think at the end of the day, always work towards it'll make our life better in the long run, and then we'll be able to maybe retire a little bit early.
Yeah.
Might be nice.
Yeah, because you're getting old now, aren't you?
I'm not as old as some, but maybe retired. So I hope at the end of the day is a bit of reward to, retire early, have a nice life when we're a little bit older.
I think you're definitely leaving behind a good legacy and a good example for other small business owners and, how it can be done right. In my eyes, it's the right way with a lot of kindness. So thank you for joining us.
Thank you.
If you would like some more tips on how to help you in your small business, visit the link in the show notes to sign up to our newsletter. Until next time, stay fresh and stay kind.